Live from clickorlando.com, News 6 Plus, and WKMG. We're getting results in your neighborhood now at 6:30 p.m.
Yo! What? Oh my gosh!
Now at 6:30, tragedy in Baltimore as a historic bridge collapses. The latest on the investigation and how it reminds many of a tragedy in the Tampa Bay area.
Good evening. This is News 6 at 6:30, getting results. Thanks for joining us here live on News 6 Plus. I'm Justin Warmoth.
I'm Ginger Gadsden. When we hit the road in East Orange County, we saw firsthand the efforts to ease a growing homeless problem. Now the governor has signed a new law mandating cities and counties set up camps, and local leaders are concerned.
We're not ready for this. I don't think any city or county in Florida is ready for this.
We want to give them the best jump start possible. We want them to succeed.
She's involved with Tampa's answer to a boomtown of homelessness. News 6 investigator Eric Sandoval toured a city-funded tent city that takes up an entire block. Later, the lessons we learned from it here in Central Florida.
We start with a debate, though, going on right now at 6:30 with pushback over Disney's plans to add affordable housing. The 1,400-unit complex would go up west of the Magic Kingdom on land donated by the Mouse. But many living nearby are calling the plan more of a nightmare than a dream. The complex would go up on nearly 80 acres of land between the 429 and Avalon Road in southwest Orange County. But some folks who live in nearby Horizon West say their roads and schools can't handle that many new neighbors. News 6's Treasure Roberts joins us live from outside the county commission meeting now in its third hour. Treasure.
Yeah, Justin, those who are for and against this proposal spoke their piece today. After about an hour or so of comment, the public hearing ended. Now the developer has a chance to respond to the Orange County Commission. Now here's the issue at hand. Disney is allocating 80 acres of land for this housing project. A developer plans to build 1,400 units of affordable housing in the Horizon West area. It'd be a community where cast members and others can afford to live. A representative for Disney says they believe this is a solution for their employees who are being priced out of their homes. But the people who currently live in Horizon West say, not in my backyard. Residents say the project is too big. They're concerned about air pollution, overcrowding in schools, and a traffic nightmare.
The volume of traffic and new residents has really impacted our commute. We've had multiple trees torn down to accommodate new apartments and other houses.
We support all housing development because we have too many families that are living in their cars and in U-Hauls because they're getting priced out of their units. It's time that we take action, and we do so in a way to support children who deserve a safe and affordable place to live.
Right now, commissioners are questioning the developer. This is supposed to be up for a vote tonight, but one commissioner says they believe they should wait on this. They should table this conversation until they get all those questions answered. We will continue to listen in at this meeting, and we'll let you know which way they go tonight at 11. In Orange County, Treasure Roberts getting results. News 6.
All right, thank you for the update, Treasure. Orange County tax dollars are soon going to be spent paying off the tax bill of a failed foundation. You might remember One Pulse bought a building in 2019 to create a museum for the Pulse nightclub victims, but that project never happened. Today, Orange County commissioners voted that the $52,000 property tax bill left behind is now the county's responsibility to pay.
We're going to pay the taxes because we don't want to end up in a situation where there's a tax deed sale or any of that.
Right now, there are still plans for a permanent Pulse memorial to be built. That effort would be led by the city of Orlando. County officials say plans for an additional museum will likely never happen.
Neighbors say when it rains, it floods because of a serious drainage issue. Tonight, New Smyrna Beach is halting all new development until a plan to fix that flooding is in place. We're talking about Venetian Bay, a large Gulf community off State Road 44. News 6's Molly Reed explains why the city is getting involved now, and their goal is getting results for the future.
New Smyrna Beach city leaders tell me that they know that this Portofino subdivision here in Venetian Bay has flooding issues and has for quite some time. That's why they're looking to pass this development moratorium tonight. Do you think it's at least a first step towards maybe starting to get the ball rolling on an answer?
Yeah, I think, well, yeah, the first step was the city recognizing it and St. John's recognizing it.
I met these two residents outside of the neighborhood. They showed me these two pictures of their street after 2 rainstorms in the fall.
Water damage is destroying our streets also.
They then showed me what's happening to their street now.
It hasn't rained here much in the past week or 3. And yet we still have water weeping through.
Small cracks starting to form now anytime they get rain. They say their stormwater drainage system isn't working, and even more development would overwork it even more.
Our system never reaches normal, what they call normal water level. So it never recovers.
This letter to the HOA says the St. Johns River Water Management District found the system wasn't working in October. The city jumping in then in February, putting an emergency development moratorium in place. It's for commercial and non-single family homes for Venetian Bay Phase 2. Now, the city is catching up to find a solution.
The Portofino HOA has had an engineering study done. We're reviewing those findings.
Assistant City Manager Ron Neisbert says now the city's engineers will run tests. He says it's likely the drainage system was designed correctly, but possibly not maintained well.
The developer's responsible for paying for any improvements.
Now, this moratorium is technically in effect right now under that emergency provision, but in order for it to last, it has to become an actual ordinance, which is what the City Commission is voting on tonight. If it passes, that moratorium will go through the end of June. In New Smyrna Beach, Volusia County, I'm Molly Reed, getting results, News 6.
A true end of an era could be just 2 days away in Brevard County. For the 16th and final time, a Delta IV Heavy rocket is on the pad at the Cape, and it is ready for launch. This version of the Delta debuted back in 2004, but the Delta series has been launching since the early 1960s. United Launch Alliance plans to replace both the Delta and the Atlas V rockets with its new Vulcan Centaur Super Heavy Lift rocket. But first, there is one final mission for the Delta IV. News 6's James Barbero got to take a rare up-close trek to see it on the pad.
Hey everybody, so I have a rare opportunity today on Cape Canaveral Space Force Station, driving on the base out to Launch Pad 37, where we're going to interview United Launch Alliance about the final launch of the Delta IV Heavy rocket. And it's not just the final launch of one particular rocket. This is the end of an era in American spaceflight. The last of all the Delta rockets, dating back to the Cold War.
Ron Fortson is United Launch Alliance's general manager. We're about to ask him about his excitement ahead of this historic final flight.
That vehicle behind us, generating over 2.1 million pounds of thrust. It's the end of a legacy here, but at the same time, we got Vulcan coming down the road, and so we got a big future ahead of us as well. So,
I'm wondering if you could talk a little deeper about why ULA thinks this is now the time to retire the program after all that Delta has done for the American space program over more than 60 years.
It's really based on our customer need. This is a very capable rocket, but it's also an expensive rocket. And so it's just time to move on to something that's really going to provide more value and more capability at a lower cost for the future. So it's just the right thing to do right now.
And while it's a beautiful day out here right now, weather conditions are only 30% favorable for a go on Thursday. Now the launch is still currently scheduled for 1:40 in the afternoon, but should the launch not be able to happen Thursday, there are backup opportunities on Friday and on Monday. At Cape Canaveral Space Force Station, I'm James Sparvero, getting results, News 6.
Our top national story tonight, search and rescue efforts still underway after a tragic bridge collapse in Maryland.
Yo! What? Oh my gosh! No way!
It happened overnight after a container ship lost power and rammed into one of the support pillars of that bridge. We've seen videos of the moment the large container ship struck support pillars of the overpass. The collision caused the bridge to collapse. It also caused a construction crew and several vehicles to plunge into the icy water. This happened on the Francis Scott Key Bridge on the southeast side of the city. The span dates back to the 1970s. The crew on board the ship called out they lost power. Maryland's governor says that Mayday saved lives.
We're thankful that between Mayday and the collapse that we had officials who were able to begin to stop the flow of traffic. And this is still very much an active search and rescue mission. And there is not a single resource that we will hold off on deploying. I have already authorized the deployment of everything from air, land, and sea resources to make sure that this search and rescue operation is carried out to its fullest intent.
6 people are missing and presumed dead tonight. Officials say the bridge was up to code and this tragedy was a freak accident.
Now, this bridge collapse today reminds many of a similar tragedy in the Tampa Bay area more than 40 years ago. It was May 9th, 1980, when the Freighter Summit Venture, blinded by a storm, crashed into the Sunshine Skyway Bridge, causing it to collapse into Tampa Bay. 35 people on that bridge died. A new Sunshine Skyway Bridge opened in 1987, built in a different location at a much greater height. A memorial honoring those killed has been placed on the Pinellas County side of the bridge.
All day, the Baltimore bridge collapse has stayed at the top of clickorlando.com. Many of you are checking for the latest information.
Absolutely. Such a tragic situation,
Awful.
Freak accident. And our second top trending story is one many of you may not have heard about yet. So here's the headline to look for. This Central Florida city was hit by a cyber attack. Here are the impacts. Well, I can tell you that the city is St. Cloud. The government says the ransomware attack happened yesterday. That's when cyber crooks demanded money to get data back or to restore websites. In this case, the cyber attack affected some city services, including phones. The city quickly started working with an incident response team to, quote, assist us in resuming normal operations as quickly as possible. Police and fire services not hurt in the attack. 911 calls also still going through. Utilities operating normally, but the Toho Water Authority's customer service office at City Hall remains closed.
Now, St. Cloud says some people may be asked to pay cash when possible. Our third top trending story tonight should have you checking your Powerball tickets, though. Fingers crossed, no one won the big prize. A $1 million winning ticket was sold in Ocoee. That means someone matched all 5 white balls. According to the Florida Lottery, it was a quick pick sold at the 7-Eleven on West Silver Star Road in Ocoee at the intersection of Silver Star and Ocoee-Apopka Road.
All right, that makes me feel better about playing the quick pick. I always do the quick pick.
Do you? Okay.
Oh, yeah. There have now been 36 straight Powerball drawings without a big winner. $865 million up for grabs tomorrow night. But don't forget tonight's Mega Millions jumped again.
Oh, my God.
It's now up to $1.13 billion. Hard to believe that is only the 5th largest prize in game history. You have until 10 o'clock to buy those tickets.
See, now I don't want it. It's too much.
It's too much. You don't know what to do with all that? I got an idea.
I do too, right?
I don't need a lot, Ginger.
I know.
Maybe just like
my gosh,
2% of that.
Okay.
I'll be fine. I'll be fine with that. Now, the only place to watch those drawings is on WKMG right before News 6 at 11.
And if you had won a big jackpot, you might have afforded an iconic piece of movie history. The actual door Kate Winslet was on when she let Leonardo DiCaprio die. She floated on in the end of the Titanic, was up for auction. That has film fans once again debating whether Jack could have lived. Details from the auction may give us some new insight on that very, very important question. We'll tell you about it later on in this newscast, but we want you to weigh in right now on clickorlando.com/react.
That is tonight's News 6 at 6:30 question of the day. Could Jack and Rose both have fit? So far, 82% say yes, 18% say no. Rose is a bit of a liar, isn't she?
Wow, Justin, that took a turn.
Well, watch that movie and tell me she's not. Again, weigh in right now at clickorlando.com/react.
I mean, just go over a little bit.
Just scooch.
That's all it takes. Well, it's a trend no one wants to see.
One county's animal shelter, not just full, it is 70% over capacity, and the reason may not be what you'd expect.
We need adopters, we need foster parents, and we need our owners to come looking for their pets. The vast majority of our dogs are coming in because they're found roaming.
How they're looking to find new forever families and reunite some 170 dogs. And what's happening here is happening in communities nationwide.
Also, be aware, many of you are seeing these guys crawling all over and increasing in numbers. But these are not fuzzy friends, the painful problem you'll want to avoid. Jonathan.
We are pinpointing a very nice evening. It is warm. Current temperatures are in the 70s and 80s. A cold front is on the way, though. It's going to change things up. over the next couple of days. We're going to pinpoint that for you in a few minutes.
First, though, a new state law mandates cities and counties open and fund dedicated homeless camps. Many local leaders say that they're not ready, but Tampa is already trying an idea, filling up an entire city block. We're going to show you how it aims to get results up next. You're watching News 6 at 6:30 live on News 6 Plus. We're getting results in Claremont, Point Siena, and all of Central Florida. We'll be right back.
Brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places.
Welcome back to News 6 at 6:30. When News 6 hit the road in East Orange County, we investigated the growing issue of homelessness there. The number of people looking for help has doubled.
Yeah, it's a problem you're probably seeing in your neighborhood too. Well, now Governor Ron DeSantis has signed a bill that will make it illegal for homeless people to sleep on public property. It would also direct local governments to create and pay for a space where the homeless could sleep.
So how would that really work? News 6 investigator Eric Sandoval went to Tampa. That's where that city is already funding a project like this, and the people who live there say it is getting results.
Once you make up in your mind that you want to get help and get well, then everything else that comes along with it is not a problem, not an issue.
Mervyn McLean says he's lived on the streets for the last 10 years.
I mean, it's livable, you know what I'm saying? Livable. That's how we live.
He now lives in this tent city. It's called Tampa Hope. It opened as a result of a rising need to help people during the pandemic, and it sits on a section of land just south of Ybor City. It's a partnership between the city of Tampa and Catholic Charities of St. Petersburg.
All right, and we have the outhouses and the showers.
Maggie Rogers is Catholic Charities Executive Director.
We're going to start building on this land right here where those two picnic tables are.
Okay.
She says right now, Tampa Hope has 125 tents for people to sleep in.
So we have cottages on this side.
The addition of these new cottages that will sleep two will soon boost that number to 325 people. And they get on-site services like mental health and medical treatment, showers, and employment help. They can also graduate into an affordable housing program.
We partner with the City of Tampa's outreach team, the City of Tampa's police department, city police, their outreach liaisons, and then our own. And that's how they come in to Tampa Hope, through outreach.
Is it hard coordinating all of these agencies to just funnel people in here?
No.
Really?
No.
News 6 investigated, and we uncovered that it cost more than $6.5 million to start up Tampa Hope. It roughly costs between $2 and $3 million a year to operate. Some of that money comes from federal grants, and the city of Tampa has contributed $1 million for the last 3 years. Now, a new law signed by Governor DeSantis last week could force some cities and counties to create their own spots like this.
We don't run homeless shelters.
Orange County Commissioner Maya Uribe says the new law is unfair because state lawmakers are not providing any money to start these sites up or run them.
The county funds a lot of services, from Salvation Army to the Coalition for the Homeless to Servant's Heart to the Christian Service Center, that are building things and trying to create housing units. You look at Disney and Universal, they're going to build 1,400 units. It's still not enough.
She questioned where a site like this would go in Orange County. We took that question to Tampa Hope.
It's finding the perfect place. I looked for 1.5 years for this land, so it's not like I just flipped a quarter like, oh, we'll take that one. It was, I probably turned down 30 different locations.
Let me ask you, do you think this place is a solution to getting people off the streets?
It's a start. It's a start and a help, most definitely. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it offers hope, and that's all you can ask for.
And you can see the growing issue of homelessness is impacting one part of Orange County. Head to clickorlando.com, hits the road.
And there you can find Eric's original investigation and our updates since then. So a reminder, the next stop on WKMG Hits the Road is in Sanford, the 32771 zip code. We want to hear from you. What makes your community so special? What needs help? And what can we help you with to get results? Head to clickorlando.com/hitstheroad and send us a message.
We do listen. Well, it is an urgent call to help get results for dogs in Lake County. The county's animal shelter says it is at critical capacity, so they need to find forever homes for some pups and reunite others with their families.
Yeah, News 6's Essie Castro gives us a look from inside the shelter and explains how you can help get results.
Let's try Freddy. Milk-bone with peanut butter is the go-to snack for these dogs at the Lake County Animal Shelter. Volunteers here are not only making sure their tummies are full, they are also on another mission.
We need adopters, we need foster parents, and we need our owners to come looking for their pets. The vast majority of our dogs are coming in because they're found roaming.
Workers here say they are 70% above capacity at the shelter, housing nearly 170 dogs. And we aren't just talking about big dogs. We are talking as young as 12 weeks old, like Tammy. She's ready for adoption.
Why are we seeing this influx of just all of a sudden we're getting dozens and dozens of animals right now?
So it's really not about an increase in our admissions. What's going on nationally is an increase in our length of stay. So dogs that used to spend minutes or hours in the shelter are spending days or weeks.
And right here we have Daisy May. Hi Daisy, she's about 8 months old, so she's still considered a puppy. So if you don't want a big dog, you don't want a little dog, you want a medium-sized dog, Daisy May's your girl and she's ready to get adopted. Yeah.
So how can you help? The shelter says people can adopt, foster, volunteer, and also share information on social media to help spread the word. Also, the shelter is waiving all fees through the end of the month for adoption and reclaim.
If somebody is missing a pet, we want them checking our website, coming in person to visit and see if we have their dog here, and then of course taking advantage of services.
In Lake County, Essie Castro, getting results, News 6.
I'm not sure what she was talking about because the dogs, I was too distracted. I had to walk away because if I get a look at any more dogs, I'm going to go get one.
We're both in trouble.
And I don't need one.
You're looking at two suckers right here.
Suckers.
All day. All right. Well, many of you are asking about a growing invasion of a much less cuddly creature, crawling on playgrounds, your homes, even on your car.
I think these are the new love bugs.
No, nobody loves them.
So these are the, no, they do not. These are the tussock moth caterpillars.
Such a nice name.
Here at News 6, we have them popping up all over the place, in the back door, all over our badge reader, and these little guys and gals really sting too, so if you don't want to get hurt, just try to avoid them. Their egg hatching season began at the beginning of March, so they will be crawling around for a little while before turning into moths.
Oh, they turn into moths, not even butterflies.
Not yet.
Okay.
Do those moths sting you too?
I hope not.
Well, if you've been dealing with these pesky insects, show us. Scan the QR code on your screen right now, post it on our Pin It page. And we have an older story about the caterpillars that's trending on clickorlando.com, and it's not even on the homepage. So a lot of people talking about the caterpillars. I was wondering myself, just coming in and out of the building where the vehicles are parked in the back, they are all over the badge reader. And I go, has this ever been a problem before? Like, I don't remember seeing these.
About it.
So this is a fairly new phenomenon that they just like 4466 North John Young Parkway.
We're doing a quick poll right now. We don't like it.
So does this override the Jack and Rose door pull?
Oh my, probably not.
No,
you know that's
I think
going on
both of those are going to be a little lopsided on
I think so.
the votes.
I think so.
All right, talk about this beautiful forecast, man.
Yeah,
It was kind of hot today, though, to be honest with you.
I agree. I'm already back into that complaining mode where
Come on,
it's too
guys.
hot too soon.
I was sweating.
Yeah.
Today,
you're out.
doing my
A
story.
little too early. I agree with you. Temperatures get back to the mid-80s right now. We topped out in the mid to upper 80s across central Florida. It was all because of this breeze. Shifting to a more southerly component, pumping in that warmth. That is a live look in downtown Orlando with our Light Orlando Delivering Hope Skycam. Air temperatures across the board. Nice and comfy along the coast. Palm Coast, good evening. We're at 75, 76 for us in Daytona. We're at 77 degrees at Cape Canaveral. Good evening in Leesburg. Into Coleman, into Bushnell, we're back into the lower 80s as well. Now here's a look at your pinpoint accurate forecast.
Your forecast is sponsored by Florida Lottery.
Temperatures tomorrow also get back into the mid-80s, but we are going to add rain chances into the mix. There's 4 o'clock at about 20%. And I do think for us in Marion County and Flagler County, early into the afternoon before 4, we're going to see the opportunity for a few storms to sneak in here. The higher opportunity for all of Central Florida, though, gets back into the picture late tomorrow afternoon through the overnight and then into early Thursday morning. That's all because of a cold front. Timing that out right now. There's 7 o'clock for you on your Tuesday or Wednesday morning. Tomorrow morning, you see the white on your screen. That represents the cloud cover. Now the rain comes back into play. There's 1 to 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Some of these could be on the stronger side as well. You see the darker reds and purples popping back up. That indicates the stronger potential. There's 7 o'clock on your Wednesday evening. Again, they are widely scattered. It's not raining everywhere, but you see the opportunity for more of that widespread rain to move in overnight Wednesday into early Thursday. Nothing strong or severe at this time, but still in your commute into work or hanging out Thursday morning, you're going to see the opportunity for a few scattered showers. We get that nice clean punch of dry air, though, by Thursday afternoon. A little bit cooler, but it will be sunny by the second half of your Thursday. The rain does clear after lunch on Thursday into Easter weekend. We're cranking up the thermostat again, and it is going to be very, very nice. There you go. There are those rain chances coming away. 20% early on in the day. Higher chances again for the second half of Wednesday into Thursday. Very nice on Good Friday, back to the mid-70s, and then for Easter weekend, low to mid-80s, and a whole lot of sunshine, guys.
Looking good. Thank you, Jonathan. Well, could Jack and Rose both have lived through the movie Titanic? A big bucks auction is raising that decades-old debate. And that is our question of the day, too. Could two adults have fit on that chunk of floating wood? Weigh in at clickorlando.com/react. In 2 minutes, we're going to tell you what someone just paid for that prop and how big it really is.
All right, the wait is over. We may finally be able to answer a decades-old debate among movie fans, a debate that dates back to 1997.
Yeah, that's when James Cameron's epic Titanic first brought us the love story of well-to-do Rose falling for third-class artist Jack. Spoilers, if you haven't seen it, the boat sinks.
What?
More spoilers. Jack stays in the freezing waters as a soggy Rose floats on a chunk of wood and survives. And then tells us all about it, throughout the story. Spoilers, it doesn't end well for Jack. Since then, many film fans have insisted that Jack could have lived if Rose had just scooted over and made room for the quote-unquote love of her life, right? Last year, James Cameron and the National Geographic hired scientists to prove it. They said Jack could have fit and might have lived.
Okay, it's too late. But take a look. Could two people have really hung on to this thing? It's just a hunk of wood, right? You're looking at the actual iconic floating wood panel
They could have
from
tried.
Titanic.
They could have at least tried.
They did it. It
just sold
flipped.
for more than $700,000 at auction. The official listing says the prop measures about 8 foot long and 41 inches wide at the widest part of the broken panel. While most people think it's a door, the auction house says it's really part of a door frame. We asked you earlier in the show what you think about all of this. Could Jack and Rose both have fit on this iconic prop? You can still weigh in right now at clickorlando.com/react, but right now, here's how it's looking.
Yeah, 82% say yes, 18% say no. And you can, again, weigh in on clickorlando.com/react. I believe those numbers are going to be around the same spot as we check those results tomorrow night here at 6:30.
I feel like Rose just wanted to change.
She did. Maybe she made a mistake. She's like, I don't know, Billy Zane.
He's looking good over there.
Well, I don't know. Not sure.
That's terrible.
Yeah, but he lost all of his money in the stock market crash.
That he did.
Yeah. Well, she was still rich, though.
He died too.
Wow.
He died from the cold water.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, everyone.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Not to go too deep on Titanic, but
too deep.
I do want to rewatch this movie now.
And you have the chance to do it. Don't you have the VHS?
Got the VHS. They got the collector's edition.
Okay, we know what you guys are going to be doing tonight, not me.
Get your popcorn.
All right,
ready.
thank you so much for watching News 6 at 6:30. Stream News 6 online anytime on our News 6 Plus Smart TV app.
We break news on clickorlando.com. See you again tonight at 11. Take care.